Hello everyone, welcome to Freedom Fighter 2127. This was posted over a year ago on May 28th, 2014. So we can go ahead and throw away the conspiracy talk of, oh, Obama's going to use the military on the streets. No, he's not. You're crazy. No, not really. It's actually the administration that's actually crazy. Inside the ring, memo outlines Obama's plan to use military against citizens. A 2010 Pentagon directive on military support to civilian authorities details what critics say is a troubling policy that envisions the Obama administration's potential use of military force against Americans. Well, that's pretty interesting with JADE HELM coming up here. The directive contains non-controversial provisions on support to civilian fire and emergency services, special events, and the domestic use of the Army Corps of Engineers. Well, wait a minute here. Army Corps of Engineers. Keep this in your head for a minute. Army Corps of Engineers, okay? The troubling aspect of the directive outlines presidential authority for the use of military arms and forces, including unarmed drones in operations against domestic unrest. This appears to be the latest step in the administration's decision to use force within the United States against its citizens, said a defense official opposed to the directive. Directive number 302518.18. Defensive support of civil authorities was issued December 29, 2010, and states that the U.S. commanders are provided emergency authority under this directive. I almost said under his directive. Federal military forces shall not be used to quell civil disturbances unless specifically authorized by the President in accordance with the applicable law or permitted under emergency authority, the directive states. So we have to be in a emergency situation, civil unrest, whatever you want to call it, like Yellowstone's gone off, earthquakes, New Madrid. I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as we're in an emergency situation, guess what? Obama can use the military on civilians. It's not conspiracy theory, and it's not crazy. In these circumstances, those federal military commanders have the authority in extraordinary emergency circumstances where prior authorization by the President is impossible and duly constituted local authorities are unable to control the situation, to engage temporarily in activities that are necessary to quell large-scale, unexpected civil disturbances under two conditions. The conditions include military support needed to prevent significant loss of life or wanton destruction of property and are necessary to restore governmental function and public order. A second use is when federal, state, and local authorities are unable or decline to provide adequate protection for federal property or federal governmental functions. I mentioned this a little while ago. What did the feds just take over? All waterways, a ditch with water in it is theirs now, apparently. Federal action, including the use of federal military forces, is authorized when necessary to protect the federal property or functions, the directive states. Military assistance can include loans of arms, ammunition, vessels, and aircraft. Well, I think we figured out why all those bullets were being purchased, and all the body bags, and oh yeah, the rail cars. And let's see, what else do they have the ability to do in an emergency situation? Take over all transportation, including your car. Like they don't have enough with MRAPs and all sorts of Humvees that are already on the streets. The directive states clearly that it is for engaging civilians. Engaging. This is a civil war. Engaging civilians. There is no if and but or anything else about it. It is engaging civilians. It is fighting people. The military will be against the citizens. No, I don't think that the military is going to do that. They're not going to confiscate guns. Really? Because what have they done so far to stop Obama? Absolutely squat. That's going to be offensive to some of you. And I'm not trying to be offensive. It's the truth. It's harsh. Hear it. Accept it. A U.S. official said the Obama administration considered but rejected deploying military force under the directive during the recent standoff with Nevada rancher Cliven Bundy and his armed supporters. Okay, well this is all history, and we know this. We know this. The BLM. They were waiting for an incident to happen. Thank God, not a shot was fired. Remember the Army Corps of Engineers seeking civilian workers ahead of impending national disaster? Question mark. Army calling for workers to respond to future disaster-stricken areas of the U.S. See, these little role players that they have, what do you call them, acquired, being paid $15 an hour to stalk civilians, to harass civilians, to spy on civilians. And that's not crazy either. It was on Craigslist. Actually, let me just source that real quick. This is on Indeed. One search, all jobs. Local training role player, Chicago, security operations operator, role player, role player, role player, role player. There was one a while ago that was asking for civilian people to basically work for the military to practice surveillance. They were going to have to walk 18 miles a day, or something of this effect. Walk 18 miles a day, be able to drive 24 hours. It was something along those lines. Don't quote me on it. There's a video I've made on it. It's a while back. I'll have to pull it up and leave it in the article I'll make about this. Kennewick, Washington, IntelliHub. A tip was sent to me by a reader via email Saturday documenting out how the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is now soliciting civilian workers for, quote, maintenance positions ahead of what appears to be an upcoming and potentially imminent event of some type. Maintenance? You don't say. Let's see, what qualifies as maintenance? That would be your electricians, your plumbers, your, oh man, I'm blanking. The people that cut trees, the roofing companies. I mean, how long is that maintenance list? Because if there is some kind of natural disaster ahead, then there's going to be property damage. So they can go ahead and deploy the military, and if there's any kind of civil unrest, guess what? The military is going to be coming against the civilians according to government documents. I'm not saying it. It's government documents that are saying it. We can stop with the, oh, you're just nuts, you've lost your mind stuff now. Because it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. And this goes for every truther out there. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is factual information, and people have got to realize that before it is too late. And it is really close to being too late. There's something else I wanted to say too. I'm calling on everybody who hears this video. After this video was made by Emma Noel, a document has now been deleted by the U.S. government. And it's one of the most important documents that we could use. I mean, oh my gosh. This link right here, let me click the text to edit real quick, that way I can show you the whole link. intelligence-senate.gov/pdfs94th/94755_ii.pdf. Alright, I'm going to copy this link, and I want to show you that the actual factual information of their gang stalking and their harassing tactics has actually been deleted. This is going into the search bar. Let me show you what happens. If I click enter, it's going to go to a white page. Just give it a minute. That's it. That's all you get to see. It's gone. And in fact, let me show you how I know it's gone, because I went to a private page, and this is what's popping up. Page not found. Really, really, because here's the document for you right here that was quoted in the video. This is web.archive.org. Page 66 is what she was referencing. Here you go. There's all the text of the information right there. Now, I'm going to put this on the website. As you saw me, I just clicked download again, so I have like 3 copies of it. That way, we don't lose the factual information that they are putting out and deleting. It was right after we made this video that a lot of the activity surrounding us picked up. I think we struck a chord. The Church Committee was the United States Senate Select Committee to study governmental operations with respect to intelligence activities, a U.S. Senate committee chaired by Senator Frank Church in 1975, precursor to the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. The committee investigated illegality by the Central Intelligence Agency, National Security Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, after certain activities had been revealed by the Watergate affair. Oh, really? So now that this document must be so important, there must be something else hidden in this. In 404 pages that they have now wiped from their website. This is a government website that has now been wiped. I'm pretty PO'd about it if you can't tell. The other thing I wanted to mention is not only is the military hiring role players, as you see here, and using the Army Corps of Engineers, but they will also be your neighborhood pastor. It's not crazy either. And this is not even off topic from the military will be used on civilians. Within the military are hiring civilians to spy on individuals. And what do? They delete the page. There's the link right there. intelligence.senate.gov/94th/94755_II.pdf. Go to it for yourself and see if you get a page not found, because we did. Now you might have your page cached if you did check the page cached, excuse me, if you did check the link. If you do and you're lucky, download it. And to prove I'm right, then delete your browsing history and you'll see it's been deleted. Church committee, pastors to help. I want to read through this a little bit here. The fact that FEMA has recruited up to an estimated 28,000 pastors, civilians, maintenance people, pastors, as a low-end estimate, to as many as 100,000 as a high-end estimate, in order to form the clergy response team is very disturbing. Notice this is an older article as well. This isn't brand new information. This has been out there for a while, but once you tie it all in, and as I've been saying lately, things are coming to a head. That includes information. We're noticing all the stuff, all the little pieces that they had left in the past. If we can remember and go back to them, well, guess what? We're starting to piece together the puzzle. And it's not like, oh, he said this, or they did this, and somebody saw it. This is factual government information that is being exposed right before your eyes, and they're deleting it. They're deleting the pieces. How nice of them. Anyways, if you can get the chance to download this document, please do so. I will leave this document after I just download it again on the website, and hopefully my website doesn't go down. That'd be interesting. I don't know who I'd sue then. But anyways, that's all the news I've got for right now. They're using the Army Corps of Engineers. It's a memo that outlines Obama's plan to use military against civilians. It's not crazy. It is not, for the last time. The military will go against its civilians. They will be forced to. It's not going to be willingly shooting American citizens. They will be forced to. It's sad to say, but it's the truth. Anyways, please check out the websites freedomfighterreports.com and socialexodus.net. God bless and carry on.